Hello once again to one of my videos, and first off I want to thank you all so much for watching the previous tier list video. We reached 1000 views at least as of point of recording, and we also got 45 subscribers. It has been an insane first week, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you so much for watching and subscribing to my videos. And sorry for the long introduction, let's go to the tier list video. Hello guys, today I want to talk to you about the 5-star accessories. These are accessories you can get from the unit when you reach the 4th awakening stage for it. There are also some exclusive accessories. These accessories you can only equip to the unit it belongs to. I have marked these with the star symbol. I'll be going over them in order of release, but also in order of class type. So I'm going to be starting with the warriors. So first off we have Fiore. Her accessory is called the Father's Memorial Vambrace. It gives a 60 physical attack, 40 physical defense, 40 elemental defense, and it gets 10% sword damage up and 10% dark and light resist up. A pretty solid accessory, not very special, but providing good stats in general. I find it difficult to rank these accessories. I think this is kind of like the midway point of an accessory. I might put it higher as we go on the list, but for now let's put it in the middle. Yeah. So next we have Kouren's special accessory, which is called Eastern Carving. It gets a 40 physical attack up and a 60 crit and 40 SP. It also increases your sword and light damage by 15%. So even by increasing it only by 40 physical attack, you get an extra 5% buff. This accessory could also be great for Eliza, for instance, dealing both light and sword damage. For this I'm gonna put it in B tier for now. It just looks to be a little bit better. Next we have Tikilen. Tikilen's accessory is called the Wind Slicer Braces, and it gets a 40 physical attack, a 60 elemental attack, 40 speed, 10% wind damage, 20% wind resist down for 3 turns when breaking. So this, again, a very great accessory for any wind user, any elemental user. 20% resistance down is great, 10% damage up is also great, 60 elemental attack. And you can equip it on any unit you want. I think this is, for now at least, going into A tier. Next up we have Tikilen's exclusive accessory, which gets a 150 elemental attack and lowers the SP consumption by 20%. It's a very good accessory for Tikilen, but you can only use it for Tikilen, which in my opinion kind of decreases the value a little bit. So I'm really not sure if this is an accessory for Tikilen. It's great because 150 elemental attack is super good, but these unique ones are very hard to pinpoint, right? Let me just rank them how they are for the character they are made for. I think that would be the best. So for Tikilen, this is a very good accessory. I don't think it's as good as her other one, because that actually gets a 30% damage up in total. And if you have about 1000 elemental attack in total, then that would be 300. So purely based on the numbers, I'm going to put this one in B tier. Next up we have Eliza. Eliza gets 30 physical attack, 80 elemental attack, 30 SP, and gets herself 10% elemental attack up for 5 turns at the start of a battle, and gets a 500 HP regen every turn. It's called the Medal of the Knights of Ardante. It's not as good as I think Kouren's accessory because that gives a 15% for both light and sword. I think I want to rate this one kind of similar to Fiore. Kind of lackluster in stats, but the regen and elemental attack up could be nice. Next up we have Edea, and Edea's 4-star Awakening 4 accessory is called Airborne Knight's Badge. It gets a 40 physical attack up and a 1000 HP bonus, so great for tanking up those squishy units. Also a 15% damage attack up, and on full HP she provokes all enemies. Put this on Olberic, for instance, uses defense skill, you're gonna have a great time. Based on that, I think this is one of the best accessories you could get still. Purely to make a unit just incredibly tanky. It would be nice if it gave defense instead of physical attack, but I mean, great putting it A tier. Next we have her unique accessory, exclusive accessory for Edea, which is the Airborne Knight's Ribbon. It gets a 20 physical attack up, a 20 physical defense up, 10% sword damage, and that's it. Very lackluster accessory if you ask me. The 10% sword attack up is nice in combination with the other one, so you get a 25%, but if you put in Kouren's accessory on Edea, you get 30% already. So, not very great. I'm going to put it in E tier. Even on Edea, you really don't want to be using it that much, because there are definitely better accessories out there you could use. So next we have Lionel, and Lionel's accessory is called Crest of Reichstadt, which is probably German. It gives 60 physical attack, 40 physical defense, and 400 HP. And also a 15% damage up for swords. It also grants 15% physical attack up and 50% crit rate up when you are afflicted by some status ailments. And the some status ailments sentence comes in multiple accessories and items and skills as well. And I think what they mean is things like poison, poison, bleed, might be blind as well, but definitely not paralysis or something like that. Difficult to kind of filter out what ailments they mean. But again, very good for something like Olberic. However, Olberic already gets a 30% sword damage up, which makes it a little bit less useful. So, let's put it in... Let me put it in... difficult. C tier as well, B tier. B tier even, yep. Next we have Olberic, and Olberic's accessory is called Hornburgian Knight's Crest. It gives a 80 physical attack, 60 physical defense. It deals 10% extra damage to broken enemies, which is kind of a niche stat, so if you could get it, it's pretty nice, because you can't really buff it, except for Wingate at the moment, I think. So if you put Wingate by Olberic, you can get a 30% break damage up, which would be the max for that type of damage. It also gives a 500 HP regen, again perfect for Olberic, getting that extra HP regen as a tank. Putting this on every unit would be pretty good, I think a pretty solid accessory as well. Not as good as the other A tier, but might be top of B tier. Next we have Lars, or Wrath, and he has a pretty nice accessory as well called Bracers of Wrath, which could have named it Bracers of Lars if they would, but okay. 60 physical attack, 40 speed, 40 crit, and 15% sword and wind up. Also a great accessory for units like Tikilen, but you could also just put it on any wind or sword user. Except for Olberic, because he already has the 30% sword damage up skill. Again, I think this is a nice candidate for B tier. Might even put it above Olberic. Next we have 2B. And I might be a little bit based in this one, but I think 2B is one of the best accessories you can get. Her accessory is called 2B's Goggles. It gives 100 physical attack, 40 speed. At the start of the battle, you get a 10% physical attack up. And when breaking an enemy, you get 1 BP, but it does not stack with other BP recovery effects. 100 physical attack and 40 speed is really, really good. So, also the extra BP recovery on break is also super nice. I think I'm gonna put this in S tier. I might be a little bit base here, but extra BP recovery, 10% physical attack up for 5 turns, and 100 physical attack up in total. It's just a great ability overall. So next we have her unique exclusive accessory, which gives a 20 physical attack, 10% SP recovery, and 200 HP bonus. Again, just like with Edea, it's not a very nice accessory. I wouldn't pick it if I were you. 10% SP, there are better items you could put on her. I mean, I don't think we have anything as good as 10 SP, but if you're gonna put a very weak accessory on the unit just for 10 SP, you might as well use Hasumi or something. So that's it for the warriors. Next up we have Gilderoy, and Gilderoy has a accessory called Genuine Scales. It gives 100 physical defense, 40 elemental defense, 15 spear damage, and 10% wind resist up. So in battles where you could fight, for instance, Tikilen, this is a great accessory to have, not even for the spear damage, but just purely for the elemental damage, defense and physical defense up. I think it's a really solid accessory, which I'm going to be putting somewhere in B tier. Next up we have Tressa. Tressa, again, her accessory is called Colzione Seal, which I think Tressa's last name is Colzione, so it's Italian, I think. It gives a 40 physical attack, 40 elemental attack, 400 HP, and 15% spear and wind damage. It's a perfect accessory for Tressa, of course, getting a pretty solid wind damage up, but it could also be put on any wind user, of which we have many in the game, because the 40 elemental attack, 15% wind damage is a pretty nice stat boost to have. Also the 400 HP could help you buff up some of the squishier characters. So it's not A tier, I think, because that would be unfair to the other ones in B, but I'm definitely going to put it somewhere in B tier. Next up we have Cardona, and Cardona's accessory is called Taylor's Measuring Tape. It gets 20 elemental attack, 20 physical defense, 100 SP, and 15 ice and spare damage. This is, I think, the first one we're going to put in D. The 100 SP isn't that great. 20 elemental attack and 20 physical defense is also very low. The spear and ice damage is, however, pretty nice, but I think we only have one unit doing both of that, which is Cardona herself. You could, of course, put this on, like, Cyrus, for instance, if you want to get some extra damage in on ice weak enemies, if fire and lightning don't really do anything. But other than that, I don't think you really want to be using this accessory that much. Next up we have Dorothea, and Dorothea's accessory is called Bird Statuette, which gets a 400 HP, 60 physical attack, 40 crit, and raises spear and fire damage by 15%. Again, physical attack is the same as for Fiore, and it does raise spear damage by 15%. Seeing how Fiore is in C tier, I'm going to put Dorothea somewhere in B tier. Now for her exclusive accessory, it's called King Card, which gets a 20%, not even percent, 20 physical attack, 20 physical defense, and gets 10% extra spear damage. Again, it's definitely better than the other accessories here, but not that great at all. I really suggest to not use the exclusive accessories, except for maybe the Tikilen one. And I think Uni also has her one at the point of recording. So I think those are pretty good. Even just if you can only put them on Tikilen. I don't think you can have anything better than the exclusive ones for Tikilen and for the other arena champions to put on them, because they give great stats, they get great passive abilities as well. But the ones you can buy with either the exchanges for pulls or with real money, which I think was the case with Adelle, you could only buy it with real money. Those are not really that great, I think. So let's go to the next one, which is Veludai. And Veludai's item is called Veludai's Satchel. It gets 60 SP, 80 physical attack, and it gets a 15 spear resistance down for 3 turns on breaking an enemy. This is great if you have other characters like Olberic, for instance. You're gonna break an enemy with Veludai, you get a 15% extra damage for all your spear units. And this accessory also gets a 500 HP regen. So putting this on a spear unit is great overall, especially when you're in when the enemy is weak to spear. So pretty good accessory, I think. Has a lot of uses. It might go in A tier. So if you disagree with anything in the list, again, it's my personal opinion. Feel free to kind of like convince me I should be putting them somewhere else. I'm gonna be doing a little revamp of the other tier list at the end of the video. So please, I do listen to you guys. If you want me to make some changes, I will rethink some things and I will make the changes. So, sorry for the little distraction there. Next we have 9S. And again with 9S, I think his exclusive accessory isn't that good, but his actual accessory for Awakening 4 is really good. It's called 9S's Goggles. Great having those 2 S's after each other. It gets a 80 elemental attack, 60 speed, and a whopping 30 lightning damage. Capping lightning damage buff with just one accessory. This is really insane. Besides having 80 elemental attack as well. Great accessory. Even though I don't like 9S, I think the accessory is very, very good. Next up we have Pot 153, which is his exclusive accessory, which in my opinion isn't all that great. It has a 20 elemental attack, 20 speed, and gets 10% spear damage up. I think as well as with the other accessories, this can go into E tier. It might go at the top of E tier because it still gets a 10% weapon type up, but that's pretty much it. Next up we have Viola from the Thief section. So we're done with the warriors and with the merchants. Next up are the thieves, and Viola's item is called Serpentine Cameo. It gets 40 physical def, 40 elemental def, 60 SP, 15% damage up for daggers, and 10% ice resistance up as well. It's a little bit on the defensive side, but the 15% damage up for daggers is pretty nice, though I'm going to put it in C. No, even, I'm going to put it in D, because that would be unfair for Cardona. I should put these here, even, because Cardona has pretty much more uses as well. Next up we have Feed Coat, and it's called Senior Butler's White Glove. It gets 40 crit rate, 40 speed, 60 SP, and raises dagger and wind damage by 15%. Again, same style as with Lionel, pretty much. Then we have Adelle, and I think her 4-star, her level 4 awakening accessory is pretty good, and her special accessory is not that great. So, her Mighty Mercenaries Muffler gives a 100 physical attack, 40 SP, which is not that great, but it does extend the status duration of some status ailments for 1 turn. So could be put on Stat, for instance, or could be put on Adelle herself because she deals poison damage. 100 physical attack up is pretty nice. 40 SP, it's kind of a niche. Not many characters need it, but I think we can put it at the end of A tier. Then our exclusive accessory is called Wayfarer's Shoes. It gets 20 physical attack, 20 SP, and 10% dagger up. Putting it on Adelle. There are better dagger accessories you could put on her, so I would put it even in E tier. Even Dorothea's accessory gave 15%, which is a little bit better. So then we have Therion. And Therion's accessory is called Famous Thief's Lockpick. It gets a 40 physical attack, 60 speed, and 400 HP. Also grants 15% dagger damage up and has a high chance to give extra paralysis chance on breaking an enemy. Therion is already using like a ton of paralysis skills as well, so this could stack beautifully with him. 40 physical attack is not that great, but any extra speed source you can get and put it on other units could be nice. You could put it on Viola, for instance, and then she could have a little bit of extra speed to debuff the enemy before Therion can do it, because Therion has a lot of speed. Giving it to Viola would be a nice choice. I think I'm going to put this somewhere in B tier, because the 15% damage up you could use for multiple dagger uses as well. You could even use it on A2, for instance. 40 physical attack and the 400 HP to make the squishy unit a little bit better is good. I don't think it would be the best choice to put on Therion, but it's a pretty solid accessory. Next up we have Ri'tu. And Ri'tu currently only has her exclusive accessory, which is the Winged Cape. It gets 20 physical attack, 20 crit, and 500 HP regen. Not a very good accessory, I think. I'm sorry, it's going to go in F tier. We don't have her Awakening 4 accessory just yet. We will get it with the Job Tower. Not sure what it's going to be like, but we'll find out then. Next up we have Nicola. And Nicola gives the Red Hat Scarp, which is reminiscent of the Red Riding Hood story. It gets 60 physical attack up, 40 elemental defense, 40 crit rate, raises 15% dagger damage up to herself or whoever's wearing it, and gets a 15% physical defense down on all enemies. Great if you want to start a battle with an extra 50% physical defense down. Putting it on a unit which already gives 15% defense down as a passive for 3 turns, you could put this on that unit to instantly get a 30% physical defense down for the start of the battle. Great to speed up those quick kills in the tourney battles. Based on that, I think it might not be A tier, but I mean, it has a nice physical attack. I'm going to put it in A tier just because of that 15% physical defense down. It is for 3 turns, but it is like a free debuff without having to use an extra unit. Then we have Falco. And Falco has the Memorial Rush. It gets a 60 physical attack, 40 physical defense, 40 elemental defense, and gets 15 dagger damage up and a 500 HP regen. Pretty solid overall, and it gets 15%, so it's gonna be in B tier. because Fiore got the 10% one. Then we have A2, and the same with all the other exclusive accessories for the collab units. The A4 is pretty good for the Waking 4, but the exclusive item is not very good. So the normal item you get is called Number Force Goggle. It gets 70 physical attack, 700 HP, and gets 10% damage up when hitting an enemy's weakness, and extends the enfeebling effects, which is paralyze, sleep, I think. There might be another one, drowsy or groggy, whatever it's called, for 1 turn. Pretty good to put it on Therion as well. And damage up by exploiting an enemy weakness is also great for A2 because she actually hits a lot of weapon types. But this is a physical accessory which you can really put on any kind of physical unit because all of them benefit from the 10% exploit enemy weakness, which I don't think we have any other item or skill which can actually buff that stat. So again, it's going to go in S tier. And it might sound lame putting all the collab units in S tier, but they are just really that good. And I'm not even talking about the exclusive ones, just the ones you can get for Awakening 4. Really great accessories. You could use them on a lot of different characters. Then we have, I just noticed also that I put in this one wrong, I think. This is, no, I did this one. I put Ri'tu up instead of Falco. My bad. Yeah, so that's all for the thieves, and then we go to the apothecaries, and we start off with Theo. Theo gets a 40 physical attack up, 60 physical defense, 40 elemental defense, 15% axe damage, and 10% wind resistance. So a lot of defensive probabilities you can get. Again, great for the Tikilen fight, and clearly better than Fiore's item. So we're gonna put it in B tier. B tier is getting pretty stacked. I should maybe split it at some point. Let me know what you guys think about that. Next up, Loomis. Loomis gets the... Oh, also Theo's item is called Polonia's Medicine Box. Then we have Loomis with Comrade's Keepsake, which gets 60 physical attack, 40 elemental attack, 40 crit, and 500 HP regen, together with a 15% axe damage up. Great accessory, not worth A tier, but definitely somewhere among the top of B tier. Next we have Alfyn. Alfyn gets the Dreamer's Medicine Box, 40 physical attack, 40 physical defense, 600 HP, 15 axe damage, and when he has 75% or lower HP, you can get 15% physical attack up. Great item to put on A2, for instance, because she gets her self-damage when she's in Berserk mode. This grants easy access to the 15% physical attack up. Also the extra 15% axe damage, granted a total of 30% for axe damages. Great accessory. I think, even though it's only for axe users, I'm going to put it at A tier. Because, yeah, pretty much. If only it gave HP regen, but that would make the 75% or less restriction pretty hard to use. Then we have Gertrude, and her accessory is the Master Apothecary's Armlet, which gets 20 physical attack, 20 crits, and on full HP raises 10% axe damage up. Horrible, horrible accessory. Next, Solal. And Solal gets a item called Bitter Remedy. 400 HP, 60 physical attack, 40 elemental attack. Raises axe damage by 30%. and has a 30% of resisting some status ailments. Again, those some status ailments. Pretty much really good accessory. Definitely at A tier. I'm gonna put it in S tier because again, I put 9S's item in S tier as well for reaching the 30% lightning damage up. So now reaching 30% on just her item is great. Let me double check if that's not a typo. I cannot find it in the list. Jeez, I have to double check real quick. I don't have Solal, so I don't know. It says so on the character index. Let me know if that's wrong. It seems very overpowered if that's the case. If you have Solal, please check it out and let me know, because the 30% seems very overpowered. If it's not there for her, then I would put her down in D tier because she doesn't give anything else. So let me know if Solal has the 30% X damage up or not, because then she belongs to D tier, and else definitely belongs in S tier. But the Google Docs say it has the 30% damage up. MeowDB doesn't say it has any X damage up, so please let me know what it is. So sorry for that, a little bit messy. We're at the end of the X users as well, so we're going to start with Scarecrow for the hunters. And his item is called Tethered Sachet. It gets 40 physical attack, 100 crit chance, and a 30% chance to hit a broken enemy with a critical hit, and raises your lightning resistance by 10%. The crit is pretty nice, but very niche. So I'm going to put it in D tier. Still higher than Dorothea's item though. Next up, Hanet. Archer's Quiver. 60 physical attack, 40 elemental attack, 40 SP, 15% for bow and lightning damage. Very good accessory indeed. Next we have Santa, and his item is called a Dragon Claw Clasp, and it gets a 40 physical attack, 60 crit, 40 SP. Start of the battle, it gets a 3-turn 15% bow resist down, and also inflicts an additional 15% bow resist down on raking. Great for reaching the 30% bow resistance down with one item. Very good accessory, definitely going up into the A tier. Basically the same as with Nicola's item, but better. You can put it on any unit, and any unit will actually get the 30% bow resist down on the enemy, even though they're not a bow user. But why would you not use it on a bow user? I don't know, maybe you have some better attack up you want to use on your Santa or something, have another unit break for you. I have no idea. Next up we have Curtius with the Gallant Leather Belt, giving a whopping 80 physical attack up, 30 crit chance, 30 speed as well, and bow and ice damage up by 15%. Another great accessory, not as great as Santa, which we just saw, but definitely can go up into B tier. Same with Hanet pretty much, but better stats. Jilmela, she has the Executioner's Glove, gives 60 physical attack, 60 elemental attack, 20 SP, and a high chance to inflict bleeding for 6 turns when breaking an enemy. Other than that, not that great. Purely on stats and other benefits, I think she can go into D tier together with Scarecrow. Next up we have Uni, and she's the other Thorny user that actually got her Awakening 4 from the Job Tower. Her Awakening 4 item is called Evening Calm Training Kit, gives a 60 physical attack, 40 elemental attack, 40 crit, Gets 15% of bow damage up and a high chance to inflict a 3-turn paralysis on break. Pretty good stats. It can go definitely into the B tier. And for her unique accessory, it's called Evening Calm Crest. It's her exclusive item, and it raises damage dealt by 10%. Pure damage up for 10% and lowers your SP consumption by 30%. Very good accessory if you could use it for a different character, but here we are. I think it can go into D tier. Would you use something else on Uni? I think for Uni it's pretty great. I'm gonna put it the same as for Tikilen. Just gonna double check. Yeah. Okay. Next we have the clerics. So we start up with Millard. And Millard has an item called Ritual Equipment. Gives 40 elemental attack, 60 magic defense, 40 physical defense, staff damage by 50% up, and dark resistance by 10%. Not that great, but the staff damage could be nice for something like Stead or for Jan Long, even a physical staff user. Based on that, it's going to go into B tier. Next we have Stead. He gets a 40 physical attack up, 60 elemental attack up, 40 physical defense, 15 elemental attack up when there's a bleeding enemy and extends status ailments by 1 turn. It's called the Bribe Bag. The 15 elemental attack up is pretty nice when there's a bleeding enemy, but only useful in some cases. I think it can go into C tier. Next up we have Agnès. And Agnès also has her unique accessory. One of the last ones, I think. Yeah, we have the Sorcerer still. Her normal accessory for Awakening 4 is called the Maiden's Pendant. 100 elemental attack, 40 speed, and it grants automatic revival once per battle when you die with 25% of max HP. It also raises your lightning resistance by 10%. Also, great accessory, very great accessory. Automatic revival is super powerful. Next, we have her unique accessory, which is called the Wind Maiden's Hairband. 20 speed, 200 HP, and 10 SP recovery. Again, not that great. But it's pretty similar to Adelle's accessory. Next up we have Liana, and Liana's normal for Awakening accessory is called Pure White Cape. 40 physical attack, for some reason, 40 elemental attack, 15% ice damage, and raises your HP recovery skills, which includes regen as well, by 15%. I think the physical attack purely because you have the physical 3-hit staff attack on the Liana. I don't really think it's in A tier, but it's a pretty solid accessory nonetheless for any healer, I'd say. Her unique accessory is called Cleric's Cloak Pin, 200 HP, 20 SP, and lowers SP cost by 15%, 50%. That's super great. Purely for the SP reduction cost, but you cannot use it on another unit. But I think it's very great, at least. But there are definitely more powerful accessories you could use, and the SP cost isn't that much of an issue, I think. If you're taking too long in a battle, you might have some other problems. We have Moruso, which has the handmade picture book, 60 elemental attack, 40 elemental defense, 400 HP, 15% wind damage, and when in a back row, you grant the front ally 20 SP regen. Great for those long battles like before. The SP cost doesn't really matter. So yeah, Great accessory to use on a wind unit. Like, you could maybe put it on Odette, for instance, and then when you toggle to the back, you can get the other unit to fit 20%, 20 SP regen every turn. Pretty solid accessory. Can go to A tier for me. Ophillia has the flower bookmark, 40 elemental attack, 400 HP, 60 SP, 15% light damage up, and then a 30% chance to resist some status ailments. Again, 15% is all she's really offering, so up to in B tier. Jan Long, and he currently only has his exclusive accessory, 150 physical attack up, 25 crit, and 25 speed. If only you could put this on a different unit, it would be so great. Unfortunately, you cannot, but I mean, if you're gonna put it on the Yanlong, you're probably gonna put it on Yanlong anyway. Yeah, no reason not to, I think. So very lackluster S tier. Purely ranked upon the fact that if you have Yanlong and you have this accessory, you're gonna put it on him anyway, because it just gets a huge stat boost for him. That's all for the clerics, so now we go up to the scholars. Yeah. So for Sofia, we have the plant sketch, 60 elemental attack, 40 physical defense, 40 elemental defense, and at the start of battle gets a ice down, 15% for 3 turns to all enemies. Great accessory, raises fire resistance by 10%. I don't really care, but the debuffing potential is great. But that's really all you're offering, so you go into B tier. Then we have Therese, and Therese has the Mantle of House Shermot, 60 elemental attack, 40 speed, 40 SP, and 15% lightning resistance down to all enemies for 3 turns, and 15% lightning resistance down on break. This is what we're talking about, being able to reach the 30% cap on your own is reason enough to put you into A tier. Next up, Odette, and Odette also has her exclusive accessory as well. Again, following the trend of being not that great. 70 elemental attack for her Archaeologist's Glove, which is the 4 awakening accessory you can get. And she inflicts 15 wind and 15 light resistance down for 3 turns on break. The fact that she has 2 elemental types, I can put her in A tier, but other than that, not very great. Compared to the other ones in A tier already. So that's why she's at the bottom. Then for her accessory, her exclusive accessory, it's called Worn Down Quill, 20 elemental attack, and grants 20 SP, and also a 20 SP regen. The 20 SP regen is pretty much the highest we've seen so far for the exclusive accessories, but other than that, it doesn't really offer that much. You would better be off to put something higher on her, or even put a different character behind her. Like, I think it was Loomis. You could put Loomis behind her. And, or was it Moruso? Yeah, you could put Moruso behind her. And then you could basically get the same effect, and then you have a different accessory you could put on Odette as well, for some nice extra damage. So yeah, Elvis next. Whistled Scarf, 50 physical attack, 50 elemental attack, 40 crit, tome damage by 15%, and wind resistance by 10% up. I mean, the tomes, we don't really have a physical tome attacker. So, I mean, if we get it, it's pretty nice, but currently, yeah. Also 50%, yeah, I mean, it's stat-wise pretty good, but it doesn't just get that much benefit at the moment. So, purely for the 15%, I'm going to put it in B. But yeah, that's as high as it will ever get, I think. Farkin, we only have his exclusive accessory at the moment called the Tactician's Cloak. At 50% SP or lower, you lower your SP cost by 20%. And at 50 SP or lower, you also get 10% chance to attack twice with an elemental skill. Farkin has only light skills, so dealing twice. Like a worse version of Odette's double cast skill. But I think it's better than the other arena champions, so we can put it in C tier. And then we have Cyrus. Cyrus gets 40 SP, 60 elemental attack, 40 elemental defense, and raises 10% to fire, ice, and lightning. 10% is definitely not that great, but it gets it to 3 elements, giving it a lot of versatility to the unit you might want to put it on. Then we have Molu, and Molu has the Kate Ecology Records, 30 physical attack, 80 elemental attack, and 30 SP. At the start of the battle, you get a 15% resistance for fire down and a 15% for fire resistance down on breaking. Great unit, a great ability, just like the other ones in A tier. Being able to reach the 30% cap on a type down is just great. And I think that's it for the scholars. Yeah, then we have Lynette for the dancers. We're down to the final few. She has the late mother shoes, gets a 60 elemental attack, 40 physical defense, 40 magic defense, 15% fire damage, and she increases the ice resistance by 10%. Yeah, just like the other ones in B tier. Very solid accessory, 15%, but nothing else that special. She's definitely better than most of these anyway. Next we have Primrose. Primrose has the dancer shoe. Funny how all these dancers have like shoes of their mother or somebody else. 60 elemental attack up, 40 speed, 40 SP, and increases fan and dark damage. Pretty much the only accessory which increases dark damage by 15%. Dark units are very underutilized, so it's great to have something to boost it. And also Primrose is one of the few dark units in the game at the moment, which deals good damage, so yeah. Hasumi has Maiden Spell, 60 elemental attack up, 40 physical defense, 40 speed, 15% light damage, and also she extends buffs casted by herself or by the unit wearing this accessory by 1 turn. So you put this on, let's say, Tithi, or you put this on Lynette, you get an extra turn of the buff, which is super, super great. Not strong enough, I think, to guarantee a S tier, but definitely going into A tier. Very great accessory. Lots of uses for buffers. Also has the 50% damage up as well. 40 speed as well, great to put on a buffer. Very great accessory. Then we have Blossom. Blossom also doesn't have his... I'm also going to put this here. Looking how I also put Tiki here. Blossom, same with Tiki, has an item called Dance Duelist Wristband, 100 physical attack and 50 crit. Then we have Hardy. Hardy gets the Harlequin's Secret Tool, 60 elemental attack, 40 elemental defense, 40 speed, raises wind damage by 15%, and inflicts a physical attack down to all foes for 3 turns for 15%. It is not great for actually debuffing the defense or anything, but the attack down could be useful when you're scared of the hard-hitting enemy. Yeah, can be somewhere in B tier, definitely above the exclusive ones. Then we have Tithi. the last unit on the list, and she has the exclusive one as well. She has, first off, for the Awakening 4 accessory, 40 HP, 60 SP, 40 elemental attack, and raises her fan and lightning damage by 15%. Overall, very lackluster accessory, but the lightning and fan damage guarantee it a spot in B tier, but not that high. And for exclusive ability accessory, she gets a 20 elemental attack, 20 SP, and raises her lightning damage by 10%. Again, you could just get Cyrus accessory and pretty much have the same, but better stats for elemental attack. Yeah, it can go in E tier. And that's it for the tier list. We still don't have a lot of the accessories for the units, and I think I missed one. Probably did one of the tourney champions wrong. This is. Oh, that's A2. Oh, I completely messed up A2's accessory. But I think I called it. Yeah, I just didn't put it on the screen, I think. Or did I mess up somewhere? It's 20 attack, 20 SP, 300 HP recovery. Yeah, it can go here. I think I messed up. That's okay. This should be the list. If you don't agree to it, just let me know and I'll change it. If you have some good arguments, of course. Not sure if Solal is actually the 30% X up, else she goes to D. But other than that, pretty good if she does. So let me know. And now I'll be making some adjustments to the other tier list, the unit tier list, because I got some comments from a lot of people. So see you in a little bit. So here we have the other tier list. Again, a lot of people were commenting about how Alfyn actually allows you to do extra breaks. Very valuable. I kind of agree. And I had another look at Harley. Harley has some nice damage, actually. I kind of put him in F tier way too soon. He has some pretty nice damage as well. So I'm going to be putting up him in D tier, but above 9S, of course. Because he is pretty nice for wind users, but we have a ton of wind users already. But I mean, he can help you out in some wind battles as well. He also has a 4-hit wind attack. You know what? I'm gonna be crazy and put him in C tier. Fight me if you want. So yeah. I also want to thank you guys so much for watching the video so far. I've got a ton of support, and I really love you guys for it. We got over 1,000 views for the first tier list video, almost 1,000 views on the Tithi video, close to 500 views on the back row abilities list as well. The other videos are getting more views, more views as well. And we reached 45 subscribers at the moment. So thank you guys so much, again, so much for watching this video as well. And I hope to see you next time. So, bye bye.